This is Nathan with your fishing report from the Northeast. Fishing on Cave Run has been slow with increasing water temperatures, but the white bass are still in the jumps near the dam. Some crappie are being caught using minnows around brush piles around 18 to 20 feet deep. Largemouth bass are in their typical summer pattern this time of year, focused on the deeper sides of weed beds and main lake points around 12 to 15 feet of water, fishing slow using plastics or using a spinnerbait and crankbaits at night. Grayson has also been slow with the hotter water temperatures. A few bass and crappie are being caught around the Twin Bays and Caney area. It's that time of year for jug fishing for catfish on Grayson and on Cave Run. Remember to have your jugs permanently labeled with your customer identification number provided on your fishing license. Check the non-traditional fishing methods section in the fishing guide for more information. And this time of year, wade fishing is also a great option to get out there and cool down a little bit in your local creek. Head down to the gorge and try Middle Fork Red or Swift Camp, but just remember to ask for permission when accessing a stream on private property. Well, that should do it for us in the Northeast. Be safe out there and tight lines.
This is Jeremy Shiflett with a fishing update from the Northwestern District. Rough River Lake is about 6 inches above summer pool. Water temps are in the upper 80s. Hybrid striped bass have been in the jumps at first and last light. They seem to be a little more active on the cloudy mornings. Anglers have been finding some largemouth bass mixed in those jumps as well. Small largemouth are still being caught along the banks, 3 to 10 feet deep with soft plastics. Crappie fishing is fair, using minnows over deeper brush. Bluegill are being caught on redworms in shallow pockets and the backs of the creeks. And some flathead catfish are being caught on jugs baited with bluegill. Nolan River Lake is also about a foot above summer pool and clear. According to my buddy Terry Watts, bass fishing is good early and late in the day. Try jig and crawl combos in a crawfish pattern. Fish 10 to 15 to even 20 feet deep, along with Carolina rigs with a green pumpkin brush hog on main lake points. The topwater bite has been good early and late on shad pattern baits. White bass has also been good early and late in the day. Look for those fish in the jumps or on main lake points using white inline spinners or white or chartreuse curly tails on a beetle spin. Crappie fishing has been fair. Target deeper brush and timber 15 to 20 feet deep. Jigs tipped with a minnow can get bites in tough conditions. Lake Malone is at summer pool. Bass fishing has been good at night and fair during the day. Again, early and late are better times to catch fish and also help you avoid some recreational traffic. Fish the edges of the water willow and chunk rock shorelines 5 to 10 feet deep. Shaky heads in green pumpkin and crawfish patterns are good options this time of year. Bluegill and catfish fishing is good in the smaller state-owned lakes and fins programmed lakes right now. Live bait about a foot under a float will do great in the fins lakes and catch all kinds of fish. Look for bluegill beds in calm pockets of water 2 to 5 feet deep with overhanging vegetation or just in small cuts or inlets along the bank. Catfish are not sitting on the bottom more than 3 feet deep right now. Almost every lake across the state is stratified with unoxygenated water at the very bottom. So use night crawlers, chicken liver, or your bait of choice about 12 to 18 inches under a float for better success. If you're fishing at night and you use a fire, please be safe. Make sure that fire is out when you leave. Do not burn your trash. Take trash with you and try not to disturb the adjacent residents with lights or noise. It's hot. Take plenty of fluids and sunscreen with you, and wear your life jacket while on the water. Good luck, and stay safe.
This is Adam Martin with your Western District Fishing Report. Here at Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley, water levels are just below summer pool, and the fishing conditions are very similar to what we reported last week. So if you're interested in fishing Kentucky or Barkley, please check out last week's report. This week, I want to mention some of the other underutilized fishing opportunities in Western Kentucky. Firstly, there are 2 good summertime trout fisheries located here. Casey Creek in Trigg County, and 2 streams on Fort Campbell Military Base. Both of these locations are cold, spring-fed creeks that are routinely stocked with trout, some of which are capable of surviving for several years and reaching larger sizes. The Casey Creek trout stocking site is easy to find and access, but for the more adventurous who don't mind dragging a kayak or wading upstream, the fishery can also be accessed downstream at its confluence with Little River. Floating Little River itself will also occasionally produce some trout, as portions of that river are also cold and spring-fed. The streams on Fort Campbell are great too, but you will need to check into the base and follow their rules, which include buying a special permit. However, once you purchase your permit from the Army, your Kentucky fishing license will allow you to fish the portions of the base which are technically in Tennessee. The base also has several lakes with good populations of bluegill and bass. Another underutilized fishery in western Kentucky is the Ohio and Cumberland Rivers at Smithland, Kentucky. Below the new powerhouse at the dam and below the dam itself are great places to fish for catfish and a wide variety of other species like striped bass and hybrids. The best bank access is below the powerhouse, but boaters will likely want to launch from the ramp in Smithland. The current can be swift, so be extra cautious. Now, one final underutilized fishery is actually a group of several lakes and ponds located on Doug Travis, Ballard, Boatwright, and West Kentucky wildlife management areas. West Kentucky WMA has lots of small ponds which are routinely stocked with catfish and contain good numbers of bass and bluegill. The other three WMAs often connect with a river during flooding, so it's hard to predict how the fishing will be at any given time, but all of them can be a great place to break out the kayak or small boat and fish around the old cypress trees for a variety of different fish species, including bowfin and even alligator gar, which have been stocked in those old oxbows since 2009 in an effort to restore that species in Kentucky. As a reminder, alligator gar must be released immediately if caught. Now, hopefully this has given you a few ideas to try this summer, and as always, if you decide to get out on the water, always remember to wear your life jackets and kill switches. Good luck.